Welcome to another episode of What to Do in the Lou. Today we're at Sk8 Liborius, located at 1850 Hogan Street, downtown St. Louis. Sk8 Liborius is a skate park different from all the rest, mainly because it's housed inside a 129-year-old Gothic cathedral. In addition to having skate ramps, this place also hosts pop-up events and is a great place for photography. They have an impressive 30-foot vertical ramp right in the center, leading up right to where the priest once stood. Downtown St. Louis is a great place to go, whether you're a local or just visiting. Let's take a look around one of the coolest skate parks and see how it transitioned from a Catholic church to the Church of Skate.
Hello everybody, so we're with Dave. He's the owner of Sk8 Liborius.
Hey, I'm Dave.
So Dave, how was this born?
So I got this building about 10 years ago, and basically there's an urban farm next door, and I have a farm that I run out in DeSoto called such and such farm. I just approached them. I was like, maybe we can work together. And they were like, well, do you know anything about working on old buildings? And so we just approached the Karen house next door at the convent, and they took the building. They never really wanted it though, because managing this enormous building is like not at all in their wheelhouse, and it was falling apart. And so me and my other partners offered to take it from them. We're like, you just give it to us, we'll fix it up. And they were like, sounds good. And so they just signed it over to us. The moment I got it, I knew I was like, I want to put a skate park in here. This would be the most epic place for a skate park.
Could you tell us a little bit about the background and the history of the building, the church itself?
Yeah, sure. So St. Liborius, I guess, was from Paderborn, Germany. He's the patron saint of like gallstones, a bunch of other stuff, but like gallstones. Like when you see statues of him, he's always holding like a rock. They started building it in 1850. I think they finished in 1870. And we went to the Archdeologian archives and looked at construction documents and stuff, just like what it took to build this place. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to save it. It's just like this giant, gorgeous piece of like walkable art. And it's amazing. And the fact that someone would let it fall down flips my stomach upside down. And so like I had like a ability to save it. And so we wanted to save it.
What makes it different from other skate parks, in your opinion?
I mean, other than being in a church, this one is just all DIY. Nobody gives us anything. Like we fund the entire thing with like donations and throwing parties and charging for, you know, skate sessions and photography sessions, and this and that. It's all like donation-based, DIY, bootstrap the whole way up. That's the City Museum guy that I worked for, Bob. Like that was sort of his whole thing. I put a quote from Bob. This is my favorite piece of graffiti in the entire church right there. This is we used to call it Bob's Law at the City Museum. So one can ascertain the success of a project based upon the resistance of its bureaucracy.
How is the maintenance of this building? You know, what are the challenges of having a building like this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the way they built things back in 1850 was a lot different. And so like they built stuff square and true. Like the German engineering that went into this place is amazing. But it's 130 years old. And so like what was square 130 years ago is not square anymore. And what was here is now there. And so just dealing with the size and scope of the place is hard.
We know that you have a lot of requests from people wanting to shoot their films. What are some of the noteworthy calls that you have gotten?
Oh, let's see. There's a show on HBO. It's like a bunch of skater girls in New York, and they did an episode here. Vice News did some stuff here. We did some stuff with Atlas Obscura. Somehow we got on the front page of Reddit. But I've been very careful with allowing any type of media stuff too, just because like we're still kind of keeping it kind of like an underground sort of thing. And the reason for that is that like eventually, in order to fix this building up, I need to raise about $1.5 million. And that's what it's going to take to white box, if you know the term, to white box the building, which is like code compliant in all areas. Because eventually the goal is to make this place into an art center for kids. Like that's what we're doing. And that's kind of been our goal from the get-go. If you grow up in North St. Louis, you know, like you don't know that you love like printmaking. You don't ever get to do any printmaking, like find out that you love printmaking or media or whatever, man. You're just trying to like survive in your neighborhood, you know, and that like there's no detriment in a lot of like underserved areas. There's no detriment of like ability or aptitude. There's like a detriment of opportunity, and that like there isn't any. The skate park is like an important aspect of it because it's cool. Like in St. Louis, in further news, check out this cool skate park church.
Right.
Like people dig it, but I need to be able to set it up with like the proper message behind it of what we're doing and how to donate. And so when I go to launch this to the world, like people only see it for the first time, one time.
What is the skater's favorite obstacle? What is the one that gets the most action?
So that's an interesting question. Upstairs, there's a mini ramp, and the mini ramp, a lot of people probably like, that's probably the favorite thing now. Partially because it's new and everyone loves bright, shiny new things, but it's also a lot of the skaters, like the quad skating roller, like the roller skaters and stuff, they really, really like it. Whereas BMX riders, a lot of them really like the vert ramp. Probably the vert ramp is like that's the thing that is the most impressive in here because there's not a lot of them. I believe this is the largest indoor vert ramp in the Midwest. And then street skaters are like a whole different genre of kids that just like ride all the street ops.
And so how can people find you online, or how can they support you?
Oh, so you can find us at on Instagram mostly at Sk8 Liborius with an 8, Sk8 Liborius, Liborius. And as far as supporting us, there's like a GoFundMe link on there, but we're getting ready to launch like a large crowdsourcing campaign, like a big one. Like we need to, like I said, we need to raise like $1 million to fix the building and build everything up. And so like, if you see us posting stuff about it, like, and like trying to raise the money, like repost it, like share it all over the place. Because at the end of the day, like the goal for this is all altruistic. Like we want to save a beautiful historic building and turn it into a place for underprivileged kids in one of the poorest neighborhoods in one of the poorest cities in the country. Like that's our whole thing. The fact that there's just like a bunch of incredibly, like the potential of all these young creative people in the city with no outlet and nothing to do and no opportunities. And if I can do something to fix it, then I will, or at least to help.